1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
What's up, listeners? Welcome back to another episode. I'm Ricky.
And I'm Brittany.
And we are
Paper Screen. So it's been a couple episodes since we released RRR, but we wanted to give a special shout out to all of our Indian listeners. We were so thrilled to see all your comments and engagement on our YouTube post, and we're just so excited that you're a part of the Paper Screen community, and we're definitely going to be covering more Indian movies in the future.
Yes.
Yay! And we're going to go there someday.
But also a shout out to all of our listeners. We wouldn't be here without you.
Yeah.
We love you. But if you're a new listener, welcome to our show. And we hope that you continue to listen to us.
Yeah.
So, Brittany, what have you been up to?
So I recently saw Dungeons and Dragons. I went opening weekend. Loved it. Super fun.
My God.
Yeah. Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves was awesome. I've only heard good things, but yeah, like you don't have to know anything about that game or have ever played it. It's so good. And then I went to Super Mario Bros.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. It was really fun. It's definitely a kids movie. I know that there's kind of mixed reviews, but I think it was obviously a kids movie since the trailer came out, but like some people I think were like expecting more or something, but I was like,
I mean, it's not like the live action Super Mario,
right.
So what do you expect?
Yeah. And I got a massage last night and I'm pretty sore as we record.
My gosh.
Yeah, deep tissue.
Love that.
Needed a bunch of stuff loosened up.
I need to get a massage too.
Yeah, you should. Yeah, that's kind of all I've been up to. So, you know, seeing movies, enjoying the new warm weather. We had so much rain in LA these like last few months. It's like nice coming back to sunny weather. But what have you been up to?
Well, I started reading Constance Wu's memoir book that you got me. I'm only a few chapters in, but it's interesting. But I'm just like, I want to get towards the juicy stuff, like the tweet.
Oh.
It's like, let's just get to the point. But it's interesting. It's a good book so far. And then I recently just finished watching Beef with Steven Yeun and Ali Wong on Netflix.
Shout out.
It is really good. You need to check it out because it is one of the best shows that came out this year on Netflix. Because it's produced by A24, it has that A24 level. Like story-wise, the trailer makes it look like it's like a dark comedy, which it kind of is, but it's like also really depressing.
So is it like a drama?
A dramedy.
Is it anything like Ali Wong has done before, or is it like okay?
Because she also did Always Be My Maybe, which is like a rom-com.
I saw that one.
And it's cute, but it's way different. Like her performance in this is like really good.
Yeah.
But Steven Yeun is king.
Yeah, we
know. We love him so much. That's what I've been up to.
Nice. As you would say, I love that for you.
God. Yeah. So, Brittany, what are we talking about today?
Today, we're going to be talking about 2 girl power movies. The first one we're going to talk about is called The Black Swan.
I think it's just called Black Swan.
The first one is Black Swan, to get it right. And the second movie is going to be the 2018 remake of Susperia.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk about these 2 movies because, well, they're like different, but like Susperia especially is very controversial just because it is a remake and a lot of mixed reviews, but they're both like different movies.
Right.
The reason why we're talking about this also is because they both have dancing themes and also feminist undertones. But yeah, let's talk about the first film, Black Swan.
What was your experience seeing The Black Swan?
You're just going to keep calling it
The Black Swan.
My experience watching this film, well, you should know because we saw this together. I feel like we had the same experience. We saw this at Uptown Theater. A lot of film school friends were there with us. but my experience watching it, I didn't know anything about it. Like, I just knew that Natalie Portman was in it, and it was like ballet.
Yeah.
Watching it, by the end of it, I was like, whoa, that was like 3 movies in in one. And I thought it was just gonna be a drama, but it was like a thriller, actually.
Right. Had you seen Darren Aronofsky films before seeing this one?
I think I saw Requiem like after Black
Okay.
Swan, and I saw The Fountain too
Right.
after. So I think I saw Black Swan. That was like his first movie that I saw of his, and then I watched his other ones. And Requiem is like chaotic for me.
I know that movie's so. I don't like. If you want to feel really icky, watch that movie.
It's very jarring.
Mm-hmm.
And like that actress, she's in The Exorcist.
Oh,
You know,
the
Ella-
older lady.
Yeah, she was like intense in that movie.
Yeah, I know. Her character's almost more stressful than anything else.
Yeah.
I mean, and everything in that movie is so disturbing.
Yeah, it's like an acid trip.
Seriously.
But like Black Swan, I was like very surprised. I loved everything about it. I think it's such a masterpiece. Darren Aronofsky is like best film, I think. It just felt really elevated, like production design, like production value, and like the costumes.
Yeah, definitely. It's a lot less like alienating than like probably half his films because he did Pi. I don't know. So you haven't seen Pi?
No.
It's also, it like ends, spoiler alert, so skip ahead 30 seconds if you're going to watch it. It ends with it's like the smart guy like trying to figure out, you know, the answer to life through numbers, and he puts a drill through his skull.
Oh, yikes.
So yeah, and it's like in black and white, and it's annoying.
Wait,
but
who's in that?
I don't remember, honestly. It might have been nobody.
For
I mean,
some
it's
reason, I'm
somebody.
like thinking Jared Leto was in that.
He's in Requiem for a Dream.
Okay.
So
Never mind.
yeah, and then there's Requiem, and then the movie Mother, but we've talked about that. But that movie's like very stressful.
That movie is stressful on different levels just
Mm-hmm.
because like it just channels real life
Yeah.
for me.
Right.
It just shows how shitty humans are in that movie.
Did you see The Wrestler?
No, I didn't.
Okay, so I think you would say that was one of his really good ones too, because it's kind of in the same like, well, he considers the Black Swan and the Wrestler brother and sister.
Oh.
Yeah, you should watch The Wrestler. I mean, I like the Black Swan more, and I think you will too, because I mean, it's Natalie Portman, it's New York, like
Yeah, but who's that actor?
Mickey Rourke.
Yeah, he's scary looking.
But that's kind of like the whole movie is about like a washed up wrestler, and he's like not letting go.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like that like yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, but like, yeah, that was my experience watching Black Swan. What was yours?
I mean, yeah, like just like to echo everything you said, I will say I do remember it was winter and it was cold, and I'm like a hardcore like Natalie fan.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was really looking forward to it. So, you know, it was kind of like when you see, I mean, I don't know if you can relate to this, but when like Infinity War was coming out or Endgame, like you're like so excited for this movie, you've been waiting forever. And then like, so I did have that, and I was very happy with the film. It didn't disappoint. I think it just like elevated my love for Natalie Portman. And that was the film that I think made me really like Matthew Labatique, the DP.
Yes. Shout out. We
Shout
talked
out.
about him before in
Mhm.
an earlier episode.
Yeah, he's really great. That's all I remember from my experience.
Thomas. Thomas.
Yes.
It can't be her. Can't be her.
Okay, why don't you just go catch up with her? What's going on?
Lily. You made her my alternate.
Well, there's always an alternate. Lily's the best choice.
No, but she wants my role.
Every dancer in the world wants your role.
No, this is different. She's after me. She's trying to replace me.
Nobody's after you.
So for those who don't know about Black Swan, this film is about a ballet dancer who's struggling to maintain her sanity after winning the leading role in a production of Tchaikovsky's Swan Lake, starring Natalie Portman, Mila Kunis, Vincent Castle, and Barbara Hershey. Directed by Darren Aronofsky, written by Mark Heeman, Andre Hines, and John J. McLaughlin. Sarah McLaughlin. If you're not familiar with Swan Lake, It's a story about this prince that falls in love with princess, and Nina is playing the princess, but then she's under a spell by an evil sorcerer. The only thing to break the curse is for her to fall in love with the prince. So when she's the Black Swan, she's like under a spell.
Yeah, and isn't he like in all black, like kind of a goofy outfit?
Yeah, he looks like a demon, like from Insidious.
Oh.
Because he's got like this like stork nose, and he
Yeah.
is all in black, or he's in all black and like kind of flying around her.
Yeah.
But like her, I think that's like she's getting chased by him as the White Swan. But
Right.
then after that, like she's become the Black Swan.
Yeah, actually, Swan Lake came from that Russian composer. Guess what year he wrote that?
Was it like 1800s?
Yeah. Did you know that, or you just
No,
taking a
I
guess?
took a guess. It sounds like an old play, like
Right.
Shakespeare.
Shakespeare. You're about.
Shakespeare. You know what that's from, right?
Scary movie.
Yes. Shakespeare in Love.
You are that lady.
Her name is Brenda.
He wrote it in 1875.
Oh.
That's really neat. That's really neat to me.
And you were saying you've never been to a ballet?
I don't think I've ever been to the ballet or really seen ballet in person. I can't think
not
of.
even like the Nutcracker?
No.
I mean, I've never seen it either.
I would love to see Swan Lake though. I'd really like to go to that. There's just a show here, but it was in March, so
Oh.
hopefully. I mean, that was the thing, as I was gonna say, is Maestro, what's his name? What's like the dude who's like leading the ballerinas?
Tomas.
Oh yeah, because it's Thomas, but you say Tomas.
Yeah, because he's French.
I was gonna say, I remember that line where he goes, like, we're gonna do Swan Lake, done to death, I know, but we're gonna strip it down, blah blah blah.
Right.
And that made me want to, like, I was like, yeah, how long has Swan Lake been around? But yeah, fucking
1875.
1875. And this recording is happening in 2023.
Right.
Shout
All
out.
the Gen Z people are like, what the fuck is Swan Lake?
I know.
What's a Black Swan?
They're like, what's ballet? I only know, like,
I
TikTok.
only know TikTok and Coachella.
Mhm.
What's the budget?
So the budget was 13 million.
Oh, wow.
13 million, and then the box office. Do you want to take a stab at that?
I want to say 600 million.
That's a little high.
Well, I don't know.
Just under 330 million.
Oh, I was thinking, okay, because it's been around for so long already.
Yeah.
So Black Swan, this movie has a lot of themes.
Mm-hmm.
I rewatched this and it was like my second viewing. There was a lot of stuff that I missed the first time because I was like, you know, when you first watch a movie, you kind of like don't grasp everything.
Right.
And then when I rewatched it, I was like, oh, there's like so many layers, like an onion.
Yes. We love our onions.
Yeah, like the emotional pressures in ballet, like that is the theme. And like, well, any type of artistry, I think there's like a lot of emotional pressure, like theater and stuff.
But she does point toe ballet, and I do think in dance that is like the most, you know, like that's the one that like is very like cutthroat.
Yeah, because like you can't be like overweight, and like you really have to like be a certain size, like a size 0.
Or I mean, maybe a 00.
Yeah, and that's like some of the themes that they touch on in this movie. It also talks about like mental illness, because like you could say that Natalie Portman's character is kind of schizo. You don't think so?
I don't think so. I think she's like a really sheltered person whose entire existence has been ballet, and they finally get to be the lead. And I think like the pressure and the obsession, just like because you can,
her.
all humans hallucinate, fact. But we don't usually notice our hallucinations, and they're obviously not as everyday, intense
as Natalie Portman.
as well as like something like schizophrenia, but like when you're in like a really reactive state, you know, it's not unreasonable for her to. I mean, it's a movie too, so I mean,
yeah, and then also like eating disorders too. That's
yeah,
because she's like constantly not eating.
Yeah, because it's presumably she's been dancing her whole life. Nina, the character's name.
Nina,
yeah, which is so cute. It's a good name. Like it fits her, Nina. You know, it fits her.
So eating disorders.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say like right off the bat, we see her mom make her breakfast, and it's like half a grapefruit.
Yeah.
And does she have a soft-boiled egg, or is there no egg?
I just remember the giant cake. Doesn't the mom make the cake, and then like she like made the cake, but Nina doesn't want to eat it?
Yeah, because
her mom has always pressured her into like kind of.
That's the thing. Her mom is like, I mean, I would argue a big part of the reason Nina is so kind of fucked up. And so her mom, I mean, if you're professional ballet, like you actually do have to eat. That's a lot of energy. Like that's crazy. Like dancing for hours every single day. And for your mom, who's well aware and probably encouraged and created this whole life for you, is like, here, have half a fruit. Like that's crazy. When she finally wins, she's like, here's this giant fucking cake. And then Natalie's like, I don't know if I should have some.
Yeah. It's almost kind of like the mom was tricking her into having the piece of cake. And like guilt tripping her, like, because this whole time she's been kind of like treating her like a baby, controlling her eating habits. But I think Nina is scared to have a piece of cake. She wants to, but she knows that if she'll take the cake, the mom's going to discipline her.
Yeah, it's really weird because I also kind of see it as like the mom being like, here, I'm doing something to celebrate you, but I'm going to make the situation about me.
Oh, yeah.
Because her reaction is like, that really like toxic, like, fine, guess I'll never get cake, like I guess I'll throw it away.
Yeah, she's like trying to play the victim.
Yeah, but like, yeah, she in like a brief instant like did something that she damn well knows is like not gonna go over well, like buy a fucking big ass cake. And then when her daughter's like, well, I just got the lead, I don't know if I should have a slice of pie, she's like, just turns it into a whole thing. I'm like, ugh, how annoying.
Yeah.
Bitch. And her mom was a ballerina, right? Didn't we like?
So she was a failed ballerina. She didn't get to make it as far as Nina did, because I think she had Nina at a very young age, so she had to give up ballet so that she could raise Nina. And that's why I think like where her controlling Nina, kind of like shaping her to be the ballerina that she couldn't be. I think that's what's happening.
And that's a thing.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
The projection of your dreams onto your child or whatever.
Yeah. I was gonna say, like, I kind of see this with like young child actors too. Their parents are like the ones kind of controlling them into doing the acting. Not saying that all young actors are kind of controlled by their parents, but I feel like this does happen, and we've seen it with Britney Spears.
Yeah. I mean, maybe this is an unpopular opinion, but I think anyone that encourages their child to focus on a career where they're going to be like objectified constantly and where they can't focus on just being a kid and like in school, I think it says a lot about that parent. No offense. I know like we've also been kind of brainwashed to like follow our dreams and but I mean, it is so dangerous out there. There's so many predators, and it does mess up your kid. Your kid needs the opportunity to like be carefree.
Yeah.
That's so important.
That's another theme in this movie is the Me Too movement, because we see, what's his name, Tomas. He's very predator-like.
Yeah. You know what? You're making me think of Tar.
Shit.
I wonder if that's a thing, because it's this very affluent arts.
Yeah.
I wonder if that is a common theme or something that there's a lot of rumors around, like these composers, these like high figures being able to kind of like groom and do what they want with their students or whatever.
Exactly. So Nina, played by Natalie Portman, she's like a representation of purity of women because of her child's repression. And
Yeah.
like she acts like a little girl because throughout this movie she kind of has this like mousy soft voice.
Tomas.
I can do it, just let me do it.
Tomas, please. I know.
And it's like so funny because like Natalie Portman's not like that at all.
I know.
But like another thing that I noticed was like the clothing.
I love the clothing.
But you know the colors are the color themes.
Yeah.
Like everyone's wearing black except for her.
Yeah.
And she's wearing pink, you know, pink representing women.
Pink and white a lot. But I just think all of her outfits, I was always like, God, that looks so comfy.
Oh, like which
Like,
one?
Because a lot of her stockings were like, it's like winter in New
The
York.
leg warmers,
The
right?
leg warmers.
Yeah.
And like, she always had these like really interesting sweater, like, but they like weren't sweaters.
I feel like they were sweaters. She just like draped it around her neck to make it look like it was.
She would just like wear, yeah, I don't know. There was something about like, I always just thought it looked so cute.
Yeah. A lot of the fashion in this movie is really cool, like really good. Or not the fashion, the costume designing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like throughout this film, like she's wearing a lot of pink and like white.
Yeah. So I'm looking at some of her outfit. So the one sweater, it looks like a sweater and she cut everything off except for the arm sleeves and then how the arm sleeves connect on the back. And that actually makes me think about how, so ballerinas need to be able to move. That's part of the reason they're supposed to be like so skinny.
Yeah.
There should be like no obstruction for their bodies to do anything. And so it makes me think like this wardrobe, as far as when she's, you know, practicing, it's like as minimal clothing as you can. So like to keep her arms warm, she has like sleeves, but she doesn't have like an actual sweater. I don't know. And like her socks and shit. And like whenever she was like, you know, like warming up, I just always thought she looked so comfy.
But that one outfit with the sweater, it almost kind of makes her look like a bird.
Yeah.
Like the swan.
Yeah. It's her
And
little
that's-
baby wings.
Totally. Did you have anything that you wanted to say about Natalie?
I mean, like I said, I just love her. I think she's so good at playing sweet and innocent.
Mm-hmm.
I think like universally, she's someone that like I think anyone would see as like, I mean this in the nicest way, but like damsel in distress.
Oh yeah.
Like because she's like so petite. She's got, you know, big brown eyes.
Yeah.
She does like the soft voice. I mean, we all know she's like a girl boss in like
Yeah.
real life. Like she's amazing.
Yeah, her character is very reserved.
Yeah.
And she's like kind of the scared little girl that has kind of like in the struggle of entering adulthood.
Yeah.
Because her mom is like controlling her, treating her like a child. But then when she finally gets this role,
Mm-hmm.
and all of a sudden like she's being accepted by like people who are adults. These other people, part of the ballet, they're like kind of pulling her away from her mom, trying to tell her like, come with us, we'll show you a good time.
Right. She's about to be like liberated kind of. But yeah, I thought she was amazing. I think she is like a very, like her career, I would say, when she's really dedicated to a role, she gives her all.
Mm-hmm.
And like for this one, like Natalie is like, I saw her in person, I went to see her speak. She's like, you know, pretty, like I would say she's probably like 5'2", 5'3".
Oh damn, she looks like a very small person.
Yeah, and I would say she just looks like healthy average. Like she doesn't look like super skinny, and she you know, like she just looks like quote unquote normal. Like you would never really have a thought about her size. And I know she talked about for Black Swan, like fully embodying ballet and that whole lifestyle. And she practiced for 4 hours a day for like 6 months, like every day. And Mila Kunis like I don't know if she did the exact same setup, but like very similar, which I was really impressed by because.
But she didn't really have to because she wasn't like the main dancer.
I mean, maybe if it was like one of those situations where like production was paying for it.
Oh,
she was like, sure. And she's, you know, she's Ukrainian. So maybe like part of her, like maybe she's already done ballet because Natalie did do ballet when she was like from age 4 to 12 or something.
Oh, so she had a head start.
Yeah, she had a start. But I just think like they complemented each other so much.
Totally.
Winona.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Natalie's just like, she, like everything she does, I love.
Yeah.
And like seeing her as like meek, innocent little ballerina
lose
her mind. I mean, what more could we want?
Right.
What was like your favorite part?
I think my favorite part is when it is pretty much the climax of the film, is like when she starts to transform into the liberated version.
Yeah.
Where she was like, fuck you, mom. I'm going to go out and party and like have a lesbian moment with Mila.
It's okay. So the White Swan is genie in a bottle. The Black Swan is stripped.
Okay, but like, see, this is where I thought she had split personalities, because she is seeing multiple versions of herself. She's seeing herself walking by her at one point.
Yeah, in the street.
Yeah,
I know, and she looks.
I had to fucking replay that scene again, because I was like, she's seeing herself. Yeah,
That's funny. Yeah, and there's so many moments in the film with her seeing her reflection in mirrors, like so much.
Mm-hmm.
It is. She's kind of like, once she gets the lead, it's like she's everywhere, and it kind of starts with that when she sees herself in the subway.
Yeah. Well, we think it's Mila Kunis, but it's her.
Oh, right. Her kind of early infatuation with Mila is like fun too.
Yeah. And then when she goes out with her and we meet Sebastian Stan,
Yeah.
which is funny.
That is really
Bucky. Funny. Oh my God, they're both from the Marvel universe.
Jane and Bucky. Come on now.
Yes. But yeah, like that whole scene when they're at the club and like the editing of that, like the dancing, it looks like they're morphing into each other, which is intentional, obviously. Right. But like she's tripping on what? Molly?
Yeah, I think it was Molly or ecstasy or something. Yeah.
Yeah. But like that was when like it gets crazy, and like I was like really into the movie. But like everything from that point on was like my favorite part of the movie.
Okay.
The suspense in the beginning was also good, but like I wasn't hooked until that point.
Interesting. My favorite parts are her just like practicing at home and like taking the subway and like, you know, sitting and waiting around for practice.
All the lifestyle shots.
All the lifestyle shots. Well, I really liked the Winona stuff too.
Yeah.
But I mean, I loved her and Mila. Like, I think Mila's character was so good. Like, she did such a great job kind of playing like Lucky Girl Syndrome. Like, she can effortlessly do any. Like, I have a friend who's like that. She's like gorgeous. She could wake up, you know, after being thrown off a plane and she'd still look better than everyone. She can like party one night, read like 8 books, get like, you know, an A in exam the next day. Like that type of girl. Where Nina's like everything in her life is planned around her being perfect at ballet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I like being with her and her loneliness. My one thing I like hate about the movie is like the CGI. Like when her legs bend back and just like all like when she actually turns into the bird, I'm like,
oh my God, that part was like, what the fuck? It looks really bad. But
it looks really bad.
But I mean, first time seeing that was like good to us though.
Was it?
For me, it was. I was like, whoa. But maybe because it like happens so fast that like you don't really notice.
Do you think this is like the role of her career? Yeah.
The Oscar-winning performance.
Yeah. Like, I know she played Jackie, but I don't think anyone cared about that movie. But I feel like this is like the big one.
Okay, my other favorite scene is when she comes home and it's a fucking jump scare.
Oh.
And it's fucking Winona Ryder.
Yeah.
That part fucking scared me in the theater. I was like, what the fuck? It turns into a horror movie after that. And then she goes into that room where like her mom's pictures are and they're like moving.
Yes.
Do you remember that?
Yes. Yeah. Dude, her mom's such a fucking psycho.
Yeah.
She's just obsessed with her daughter. She just paints pictures of her daughter. That's all Natalie or Nina.
Wow, that's so funny because they don't look like her.
I know, they look like shit.
They look like Picasso paintings.
Yeah. No, that's all Nina.
But they're all coming to life and it's just like really scary. But that whole scene just reminded me of like a haunted house because like at the same time like Winona Ryder's ghost is like coming after her. Yeah. Which I'm like, is she actually dead? Because we see Nina goes to the hospital to pay a visit. She ends up injuring herself.
Yeah.
Because Natalie has like taken over, or Nina has taken over her role in Swan Lake, right?
Yeah.
Or Stardom.
She gets hit by a car, doesn't she?
Something like that.
Like something intense where Nina almost gets like paranoid about it. I was gonna say, and I think Winona's character is like an alcoholic too, right?
Yeah, because she's like belligerently drunk at that party. Winona's like making a scene with
Yeah.
Tomas because she wants to talk to him about like coming back.
Well, and think about it. He probably groomed her too.
Yes.
And ate her up,
Exactly.
spit her out. Like in Tar, it's like, it seems like as this fallen star is like a total like crazy lady psycho. And it's like, well, like the maestro's probably just like mentally fucked them.
Yeah. But yeah, like Winona Ryder's character, she's like really good for like the amount of time that she's in.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
she's amazing.
Hot mess.
I think I didn't know about Winona Ryder being in it.
Me neither, because I was like, oh, she's in this?
Yeah, it was like, I just remember it being kind of like a, it's Winona, because she'd been, not really in anything, and she was playing, lack of a better word, like a washed up ballerina. And like in real life, Winona Ryder had like a pretty similar career to Natalie Portman, where she was like the girl and everything.
Yeah.
And then that whole like, I think it might have been Fred Siegel.
Sears.
It was Sears. Shut up.
Actually, I don't remember, but
Okay.
we forgive her.
I thought
she's
she was
still a queen.
I thought it was like an acting thing.
Maybe she was, maybe. She
I don't
was
know, like just to ruin like to end blacklist someone, like just, I don't know. I thought like that, how that went down is weird.
okay, that scene where Nina comes like sneaking around her room.
Yes.
The dressing room, and she steals the lipstick.
Yeah.
So when she steals the lipstick and puts it on, I think that's when like she starts to kind of like convert, basically.
Yeah, she's like trying on sexuality.
Exactly. And it consumes her.
Yeah. I mean, that's literally what she's doing. She's like, I'm going to put on some lipstick and
so
I'm
she
going to
could
go
be
talk
seen.
to Tomas.
Yeah, and she's like trying to be sexy.
And then she bites him.
Exactly.
And that gets his rocks. What is that expression?
It totally gets his rocks off.
He's just like, you bit me, you bitch, you little bitch, you bit me.
Basically, he's like turned on.
Right. Because she's like this clearly like virginal, young, vulnerable woman who's like, rare.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
And it comes to a surprise to him, but like that's the aggression that he wanted from her. He was like trying to pull from her.
Yeah, because the whole thing is the Black Swan, the ballerina plays two roles, the white and the black, and she's the white, but he needs Mila.
Exactly. And is Mila the Black Swan that she's seeing?
I think it's her like projection, because I think the minute she meets Mila, because Tomas even points out Mila, he's like, see how effortlessly like sexy she is? She's such a good dancer because she loses herself and all that stuff. And Mila is like, she's like very extroverted and like captivating, like everyone likes her, and she's got like everyone's attention. Like even when she like comes into the studio and he's like, go ahead and warm up, and she's like, I'm good. Like that confidence, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I think she's just like she's uninhibited, right? And Nina's like the opposite, so she's just becomes like infatuated with her.
At one point she does see like Tomas and Mila like having sex.
Wait, really?
But then she sees herself having sex with Tomas. It's like when she like
Wait.
So
she's blowing him. No?
No.
Okay.
I don't think that ever happened.
Okay.
Different movie.
Okay.
No, it's like right after the nightclub scene, she shows up to the rehearsal late. Tomas is like kind of giving her a lecture, and like Mila Kunis is having to fill in for her.
Yeah.
And she gets pissed because like she's basically the step in because she showed up late. And this is where Nina gets that idea that like Mila Kunis is like basically trying to take over her role.
Yeah, because it's like, you came to me, you convinced me to do something I would never do, which is go out on like a school night. You gave me drugs. You, I think, fucked me. And then I of course wake up late. I immediately get punished, and you're in my spot.
Yeah.
How did you think they hooked up? Like, how did you interpret that kind of stuff?
So rewatching it, it's her imagination.
Okay.
Because she does see herself having sex with herself.
Yeah.
Because it's not Mila Kunis that she's having sex with, it's her.
Is that the same scene where she's just like masturbating? Or is that a different scene?
No, but that's a different scene. We do see several scenes where she is trying to play with herself and her mom's like sitting there.
Okay, so
that's fucking weird.
Really fucking weird. Really fucking weird.
Yeah.
So I have a friend Portugal, she said something once about the Black Swan where she was like, is the mom molesting her? Because there's a scene where the mom like goes up to her door and I think the mom is in a robe or like it's nighttime for sure. And she goes, are you ready?
What?
And then we don't really know like what that's about or where it went.
Weird. I might have taken that out of context.
Oh, really?
Like she was like ready to be tucked in for bed.
I mean, that's the thing. I don't know.
Because she is babying her. So I'm like,
Yeah, doesn't she cut her nails?
yeah. And it's like so aggressive that she like cuts her.
Yeah, on purpose.
Ooh, this other part. Okay. That reminds me of that other part where she like has that hangnail and she pulls it. Oh my
I
God.
know.
It's so gross.
Because of the point shoes, they do ruin your toe because you have to like wrap your toes for one thing, and then you're like standing on your wrapped toes on wood. I think it's wood, dude. When they break in their ballet shoes, though, I could watch that all day. Oh my God, and then like slicing scissors on it. I was just like, this is so fun to watch.
So, other than like those lifestyle scenes, did you have any other favorite scenes?
I think just in general, like I really liked the setting. Like it was always dark, like everywhere you went, it felt like whenever she was out in the city, it was nighttime. Like I liked when she was at like the music hall place, you know, and like when Nina is there and like there's a point where Natalie's standing in front of like this angel statue and they do a shot of like her with the wings, like all of that, like literally all the settings, like her apartment, like she looks cozy, her apartment looks cozy. I love it all. And I was gonna say too, I'm not positive, I'm pretty sure I remember seeing like a behind the scenes or an interview with the DP, and he said for those subway shots he just went on there with a 7D and they didn't have a permit. Yeah, I'm like pretty sure that happened because the whole movie's like handheld or like, you know, on a gimbal or something. The whole movie is 16 millimeter too.
That makes me think about it because there are some scenes that don't look like it was shot on film. Yeah. And I don't know if it was all shot on film.
Oh God, it's so gorgeous, that movie.
It is.
Like when she's doing the ballet, it's completely black and just she's in the spotlight. Like all that shit is so gorgeous.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like the Black Swan makeup. The black like eyeliner.
I love it.
Do you?
It is so like, it kind of reminds me of like a demon. It's very demonic. She also has like crazy contacts on too. And it's like fucking dramatic. But that's what I liked about the last half of the movie. It's very horror to me.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think the reason I don't like it is because I don't think she looks pretty, and I want Natalie to always look pretty.
Oh my God.
I know. I'm just being honest. She
can't look demonic for 1 minute.
I mean, couldn't they have done it in like whatever?
To each their own.
Yeah.
To each their own.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Okay, but like Mila Kunis, what are your thoughts, feelings?
See, I really liked her in this because like we hadn't seen her in a serious role.
Right.
And I feel like she is usually doing like rom-coms. I've never seen her anything like serious until this because we all know her from That 70s Show.
Right.
She's really great in this. And like I like her look in this because like she's got the smoky eyeliner. Like it's such a badass look. And like you could tell like she's supposed to be like this evil twin, so we think.
Right.
Bad influence. Like she's like encouraging Nina to like be a baddie, basically.
Right. Yeah. What is it called? Bad Club, Bad Bitches. Remember that show? It was like a reality show.
Oh,
Bad Girls
Club.
Yeah, dude, that's a good show.
She was trying to get her to be part of the Bad Girls Club.
Yes.
But yeah, she's like wearing a lot of dark colors like everyone else is. You know, the black and stuff. I liked their relationship. Like or I guess you could call it friendship.
Yeah, acquaintance.
Yeah, acquaintance, I would say. Because like they're just starting to know each other. But like they're not really like on a good side.
Right.
Because the whole time like Nina is thinking like, you're like trying to be me or whatever.
Right. Why
She's
are you
like,
so obsessed with
yeah. Why are you so obsessed with me? But yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about Mila. What did you think of her?
Yeah, I thought she was amazing. I thought this was kind of like, and maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like this was kind of her breaking into more serious roles and kind of like getting rid of the Jackie 70s Show reputation.
Yeah. Totally.
Because it was like a dramatic role, more highbrow.
Yeah.
You know, and I think she's brilliant. I was going to ask you, she did a movie on Netflix recently, and it's based off a book. Lucky Girl? Luckiest Girl?
Okay. Yeah, I think I saw that on Netflix. I didn't watch the movie, but I saw the poster for it.
I want to watch, because when I found out it was based off a book, and the book is supposed to be good, I was like, okay. Any last thoughts?
My final thoughts on Black Swan. It really is a masterpiece.
Same, yeah.
I don't think it needs a remake. Maybe a reimagining would be cool, but I think this movie is like perfect. The technical aspects of the film is like really good. And what are your final thoughts?
I mean, just kind of everything you said. I think it's a masterpiece. It's his best film. I think it's Natalie's like best film as far as acting goes. I mean, I think, it's my favorite Natalie movie, and it's her best performance. I kind of want more like this, like more movies like this, like Suspiria's in the same realm, and Tar.
Yeah.
Like I like this, like get into the worlds of this like super upper class, like niche art world, like so orchestra, ballet, modern, contemporary dance or whatever, and like show us how like fucking crazy they are. Like, yeah. I like it.
One thing that I wanted to mention was her transformation when she's like the bird and she's got the wings.
Yeah.
Her arms are like the wings, and like you see like the spotlight on her and it kind of creates the silhouette. Like that's just so fucking amazing.
It's so cool. Genius, amazing, fantastic, legendary.
I guess we could move on to our next movie.
Yes. This is Susperia.
Susperia.
Dude, I have like a lot of medium abilities.
Oh my god.
No, I really do, and it's kind of freaky.
Oh, don't tell me that, because that's gonna make me scared.
No, I'm
kidding. You're like scaring me now. Okay, why do you think that?
So I was thinking about, this kind of shit always happens to me. I was thinking about a short film we shot at school once, like not even like a short film that like no one saw. It was just, I think it was like a part of an exercise assignment.
Yeah.
I never think about this. I like just thought about it yesterday, and I have to log into Facebook to do something, and I'm not on Facebook. Apparently my profile has been on, and I didn't know that, so I need to like turn it off.
Yeah.
But anyway, I open up my news feed, which I haven't touched in a long time, and it says 3 days ago, someone, I'm not going to name who, liked a video I was tagged in, and that's the video.
Weird.
That shit happens to me like on the daily. I know, I'm like, how random, but...
Right. Well, we're going to be jumping into our next movie, Susperia. So again, we're talking about this film because it deals with dancing, feminist undertones, women empowerment. For those who don't know anything about this film, it is a remake. We're talking about the 2018 version because you and I really liked this film, so we wanted to just put this together with Black Swan.
Yes.
But for those of you who don't know this film, it is about an American girl who travels to Berlin to study dancing at a world-renowned dance company, only to find out that the members are part of something sinister.
Ooh.
Okay, so this film is starring Dakota Johnson, Tilda Swinton, Mia Goth,
our fave.
and this is directed by Luca Guadagnino, who also did Call Me by Your Name and Bones and All. Those are two movies.
Seen that yet.
Those are two movies that you should check out. He also has that limited series on HBO Max. It's called We Are Who We Are.
Oh yeah, I love that show.
I haven't seen it.
Dude, it's so good.
It's a queer storyline, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a lot of queerness, but there's someone who is gender non-conforming.
Oh.
Dude, the finale's really good.
Okay, there's only one season of that, right? It is a limited series, so I'm assuming so. So this is written by David Kojanek. We have some questions. What was going on with your mind writing this movie?
I love it. It's just so... I didn't finish the original, but it's so different.
It totally is. But both movies are really good, like, in their own way. The original Susperia has its moments because of its, like, colorful cinematography. Like, that's, like, what makes it stand out. The original is, like, a Italian giallo film, which is, like, a genre known for their, like, colorful lighting choices and all the shots.
Yes, very colorful.
Yeah. And I love that.
No, it looks great.
But we'll get into that because, like, the director is actually friends with Dario Argento, who did the original Suspiria.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. He didn't approve of this movie.
Yeah, he, like, didn't. But they're friends?
Yeah.
That's so weird.
I know. They're not even the same movie. There's only, like, little references to the original. But yeah, like, what was your movie experience like?
So I actually, in 2018, I went for my birthday. Me and just like 2 friends, and loved it. We loved it. Thought it was fantastic. You know, like, I didn't know. I'd never seen the original. I knew almost like nothing about it. I just knew who was in it. I knew it was like a weird kind of artistic, you know, like dance, European.
Yeah.
It's World War II or when the Berlin Wall shit is going on. It's something, right?
So it is taking place in 1977, which is like in Germany during the Germany Autumn, which is like when the Red Army faction, they're like a terrorist group. But it's just like there's a lot of protests happening and there's like a lot of war happening between these like territories.
Yeah. I worked with someone who's like a big horror head, and I knew he liked the original, so I was really excited to like talk to him about it. And like, yeah, I went to like work on Monday and I was like, dude, and he was like, I didn't really like it. And I was like, what? How the fuck do you not like what? And I think it was because he wanted it to be like the original.
Oh, I feel like it's very highbrow compared to the original.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
Like, just like the vibe of it is very different because it has that like 70s look with the snap zooms and like,
oh my god, yeah.
and the colors in this movie, like all of the art design, there's a lot of like muted tones, like the brown and like the maroon. Like those are like a lot of the colors in this, which I really like too.
Yeah, I think that's really representative of like the style back then too. Yeah. Actually, we'll get into it, but I have some information regarding style in it. I think it's pretty neat. Okay, Ricky, what was your experience?
So my experience was I saw this movie alone in the theater and I was like really excited to see this, and I liked the original a lot. I saw the trailer and I was like, oh, this looks cool. Very different from the original.
Yeah. I mean, the trailer was so good.
The trailer is really good because it doesn't tell you anything about it. And all you get is like visuals and like that music that they play.
Mm-hmm.
That's the music in the trailer. And I just love it because it's just like, brom, brom, brom. It's like The Shining.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I love about it.
Totally.
But yeah, I saw the trailer, saw the movie. I don't think I liked it when I first saw it.
No way.
I think I had to think about it first.
Okay.
Because
why?
I think it's because it was too slow for me. I think it was because the story of the old man, like that part, like really dragged out too long for me.
There is a part in the movie where I'm like, where it's his whole,
yeah,
and I'm like, ugh.
It is like a backstory of like this supporting character, as if we really need to know.
Seriously, yeah, I don't like that either.
You get really hooked in right away when you see that first kill, you know?
Yeah.
And then I was like, ooh, this is like getting really good. But yeah, the scene with the mirrors, that was cool. Like, I loved that. And I was like, I need more of this in the rest of the movie. And then when they like have the old man story there too, it's like, falling asleep. Let's get to it, okay? And then the ending happens and you're like, whoa.
Whoa.
I found it very jarring because like all the women there were like fucking naked.
You're like,
made me
whoa.
It made me uncomfortable.
Yeah, I was like, I think when I was in the theater, I was like, oh, okay.
But then when they start going wild, I was like, okay. But yeah, like I kind of sat in the theater chair and like...
You were like, why aren't I seeing naked men?
But we do get some of that too.
Mm-hmm. Oh gosh. Yeah. So hot.
Yeah, I think I rewatched it multiple times just to like really get into it, and then finally I was just like, actually, it's fucking great.
It's amazing. That's what I mean. I understand you can get attached to like, you know, originals or like other things, but whenever a franchise is like the most recent Ghostbusters, I thought was fine. Like it was like, you know, it was like good. Like,
oh, I liked it.
yeah, I liked it a lot too. I think I like cried. Like I thought it was cute, and then like I guess there are some people in the world who like didn't like it, and I'm like, you didn't like it because you're like attached to the idea it's gonna be like the original, like the first two Ghostbusters that we all know and love.
Are we talking about Ghostbusters Afterlife one?
Yeah.
I
didn't like the other one.
Oh, okay. I was like, I thought you were talking about that one.
No.
And I was like, oh, we're talking about two different Ghostbuster movies.
No.
So, what's the budget?
The budget box office for this one's crazy. Any idea what's your guess for the budget? 2018 Susperia.
30?
20 million.
Okay.
Okay, pretty close. The box office,
It's lower. I want to say like 9 million.
7.9 million.
Oh.
So like that's terrible. And I was like, I mean, when I went to it at the Dome, it wasn't like a packed theater or anything like that.
Mine was empty. I felt really scared being alone in that theater watching that movie. But also I went at like fucking 8 o'clock in the morning.
That is crazy. Why?
Because I wanted to like get into the movie right away and then get out so that I could still enjoy my night.
Okay. I didn't even know like movies played at that time.
Yeah, it's like usually the first showing.
That's so funny.
I went to the first showing just so that I could get out at a good time and then like do my errands.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like people didn't know much about this movie
I don't think anyone did.
because like the marketing of it.
I don't think I had ever heard about Suspiria until this movie. Like I never saw the original.
Oh wow.
You're in a company now. You have to find your right place. You have to decide. What is it you want to be for this company? Is it the head? The spine? The sex? The heart?
The hands. I want to be this company's hands.
I've been like kind of referring to it as, I don't know if this is like a real term, but like Euro horror.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Interesting. I've never heard of that.
I think I might have made it up. So, you know, just so you guys know, I think I made up Euro horror.
Yeah.
To genre.
Like Titan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess we can get right into it. Chloe Grace Moritz.
I will say, out of like everything in the film, I don't love her.
Really?
I just like don't really believe her in like the first few scenes. A little too much like acting. You know what I mean?
I mean, I thought she was good. To each their own.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's talk about our likes.
The music is really good. Do you know who did it?
No.
Tom York.
No, he did not?
Yes.
From Radiohead.
Yes.
What?
Yeah. It's like really cool. Like
I
he like
Radiohead.
scored the whole movie.
Yeah, I just like rewatching it especially. I'm just like like all the music is so cool, you know? Like the studio, like the dance studio is super cool. Music's great. I love like snowy Berlin.
Oh yeah.
You know, like like all the atmosphere.
It felt like you were in that era, that
Yeah.
time period. So Tom York from Radiohead, he scored this film, produced the songs too.
Mm-hmm.
I like the opening credits sequence with
Yeah.
that song because it's like that piano cue. It's like dun, 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 dun.
Yeah. Any of the songs like reflect the original film at all or no?
No,
Okay.
but like Suspiria, like the original Suspiria, there's this song called Goblin that is very much like the theme music for that movie, and like that's the song that like everyone knows.
Okay.
Like if you're a fan of the original, like you know that theme song.
Mm-hmm. One of the things I'll start is Dakota Johnson. Like Dakota Johnson playing her like really warm and soft and like really alluring in her like own way, and like because she just really like exudes being like naivety or whatever. But this made me a fan of Dakota Johnson. I didn't really care for her before, and I had never really seen her in anything, but she
Yeah.
did that 50 Shades, and I thought that looked like trash.
Yeah, I've only seen a little bit of that movie, but this movie,
Yeah.
it shows her range, kind of. Even though
Yeah.
she is kind of playing that character from 50 Shades, the like soft, like Natalie Portman in Black Swan.
Oh,
Character.
really? I
Yeah,
didn't know she
she's-
was like that in that movie.
She's like supposed to be like this innocent, like vulnerable girl, and she is kind of exposed to like the sex world.
Yeah, interesting.
But like her character in this is kind of similar in a way, but something about her acting in this just feels different. Maybe because
Yeah.
she's like the supreme.
The Sorceress Supreme. I was gonna say, I had to look it up because I wasn't sure, but her family in the film, like that she leaves in the United States,
the
they're
Amish, right?
Mennonite.
What is that?
So Mennonite and Amish are like basically the same because like I think one might maybe speak a different language, but I think Mennonites use some electricity,
Oh, okay.
but Amish don't.
Oh, okay.
If I'm wrong, let us know in the comments.
Yeah, that's interesting. I just thought that they were like some sort of orthodox cult.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be like a Pearl situation where like they're just like really old school, scary, mean Christians
Yeah.
living on a farm in like rural America, but they're actually Mennonite. I think if the movie took place like modern, that would have like stuck out more.
That's the thing, is like that whole backstory of her like coming from this like farm
Mm-hmm.
and then going into Berlin. It's a very more city vibe,
Oh yeah.
and like if it's totally a different world.
Yeah, Berlin is like a more, I guess, it's kind of hard, because of what's going on there at the time, like
Yeah.
with the rebel uprising or whatever. It's like a very like culturally, like now at least, it's like a more like liberated and very like artistic city, which is like a very, very different from the Mennonite.
Yeah, Dakota Johnson.
She's like an onion.
I was thinking like that part where she's like opening her heart.
She opens her heart
She opens her chest,
and
it's
like that black stuff comes out.
Yeah,
Dude, that was like a pretty scary part when like that
demon
like
thing.
black demon thing came out.
Which I'm like, where'd it come from? And who is it supposed to be?
it's
not.
supposed it's like a previous Sorceress Supreme.
Oh,
It's like the original Mother Suspiria. It like summoned awake because it's Dakota. But I think the
'cause she's
corpse,
Suspiria.
right? But she's like Suspiria reborn.
Oh,
I think the original, Mother Suspiria demon thing came out. I think it was like sort of like they had like a catacomb under the building.
yeah.
That's how I interpreted it.
she
'cause
had a room with her bed in it. I think that's what the original was.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
because
but-
I've seen that. I remember that scene.
But in this movie, we don't see
Right.
her anywhere.
Yeah, I think she's like literally a dead body that like they don't know. Like they don't. You know
Oh,
what
they
I
don't
mean?
know where she is.
Like maybe they don't know, or they just don't. They don't go down there and shit.
Mhm.
Okay, so like when I went to Vatican, St. Peter, whatever that church they have inside of the Vatican,
Yeah.
I went underneath because they were like, sometimes they let people go underneath of it. I went underneath and there's just a bunch of corpse or like tombstones or,
Oh, yeah.
but
yeah.
like, well, like, you go into a box. Yeah, and then there's like cement around it, and like it's raised and like
yeah.
on display, kind of like when kings
It's like
would
a-
die.
It's like a cover.
Yeah, anyway.
A case for like the
Yeah,
coffin.
Yeah, it was just like a room of those. And apparently, the Apostle Peter is in this box in front of me, and then someone goes, "No, it's Mother Suspiria." So, what's something else you really liked about the movie?
I really like when Susie like shows up and she does her audition. This is when it does start to get like a little bit more mysterious. The witches are like seeing some potential in Susie.
Is that when Tilda's just like staring at her?
Yeah.
And you remember what's happening?
So there are these women that are like board members at this like dance academy, And they're the ones that are like part of this audition process. And they also are the witches. If anyone is confused, just letting you know now. But the witches are standing in like a pentagram.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. I noticed that because like the floor has like this design. It's kind of like a star and it almost makes a pentagram.
Right. It's like artistic.
It is because it's not like a pentagram.
It's not like a hot
it's
topic.
Just it's not all sunshine and rainbows. But yeah, that scene intercutting that other scene, which is where that girl is getting fucked up. So Dakota Johnson's like doing this like dance for her audition, and those witches are kind of like giving her some power. Like something in the pentagram that they're making is like forcing like energy into her.
Yeah.
Because it's like Susie's energy is precipitating and they're like kind of reading that energy.
Which I didn't, until like second or third time I watched it, I like understood that. Because the first time I didn't realize the connection.
Yeah, like first time watching it, I was like, are they taking the power from that girl and putting it into her?
Right.
It feels like that's what's happening. Like they're like reversing everything. Because that girl that like, she gets pissed because like,
right.
she's supposed to be like the lead, right?
I think she was.
Wait, no. It was
No?
Chloe Grace Moretz's character.
That's right.
She's supposed to be the main girl in this performance.
But she was like, I'm bouncing out of here.
She's like, these gays are trying to murder me.
Yeah, I'm trying. I think because they tell that girl to like go practice in this room.
Okay, so that girl, those witches were like taking her eyes away. And she goes blind.
No way, does she?
Yeah, and somehow like she starts hearing the voices of like Chloe Grace Moretz. And it leads her to that basement. But I forget like who does that first. Or maybe I think she was just it was like slowly being taken away from her.
Yeah, I mean,
because once she got the boot, they were like, "We're taking your powers."
Yeah, and man, she looks real rough. She really did all that choreography.
Yeah,
Isn't that crazy?
It's really good.
It's crazy dancers.
That's probably like why she was in the movie. They were like, "You get to do this scene."
Yeah. Can you dance in a way where you're like slamming yourself against the wall?
Yeah. I forgot to mention like the editing because it was like intercutting with like the scene in the basement and then like Dakota Johnson's dancing. What I like about the editing is like it jumps to like all these like tight shots of her eyes and just like lots of snap zooms, and it's crazy. Like it's really intense and like it like hits every point.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of things I like about this movie, but I was gonna say, like, I love, like, the witch representation. Like, honestly. I thought it was, like, kind of a fresh take, you know?
Because they look, like, very artsy and...
Yeah, just the idea of, like, this, like, highbrow studio.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Of, like, these, like seasoned ballet or whatever the fuck they do, dancers. And it's, like...
And they all have, like, fashion senses. Like...
Right? Yeah, I thought, like, it was kind of, like, cool because it was dynamic and still respectful, in my opinion. Like, it was able to kind of take the stereotypes and like urban legends and whatever and like make it into something like fresh and cool,
like American Horror Story Coven.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. I also really like, you already touched on this, but yeah, just like the color palette, like between the sets to the wardrobe. And I was gonna say, I think we were start touching on this, I think during Black Swan, but I was gonna say something about magazine. So the costume designers said that a lot of like the looks, especially like their performance and like all this other shit and like their outfits throughout the film, were inspired after they like looked at magazine Sibyl, that magazine was only made from 1956 to 1996. It's European.
Oh.
But it's like a fashion magazine.
Okay.
And I guess like the type of style that they have throughout the wardrobe in Susperia is like based off like a lot of like the iconic looks in those magazines.
Oh. Yeah, I could see it. It does give me that vibe. Okay, so at the interpretive dance scene, like all the women are wearing like the red robe costuming and like the performance, the choreography and like the wardrobe all together. It's just like really cool. It's because it's red, it like sticks out of like all of the movie because we're seeing this bold color. Because throughout the film, like everything is like a muted color except for the scene. So it's just like very iconic, and it is like a movie poster too. So
Yeah, it's such a good movie poster.
what was yours?
I think just like, honestly, I think just like Tilda, like when she's wearing those long, dramatic, one color
Nighty.
yeah, like all of her outfits were
She looked very like superior.
even like, especially like that orange red or whatever gown that she wears during the end like crazy scene.
That's like also my favorite look too.
Yeah, it's so good. But I was gonna say my other part is when she's getting like teaching Susie how to jump. It's like a brown long sleeve, very plain dress, but it's like floor length. It's really boring. And then she just has her hair like in a split down the middle, like in a bun. But it's it's not like there's something about it that is like so like militant and just like really embodies like her.
Mm-hmm.
And it also at the same time like looks like fashionable. I mean, and everyone looks great, you know, like, yeah, I don't know. I just like love Tilda though, you know. Do you have like a favorite scene?
I do like all of the dream sequences too. And it's just like very like disturbing images. Like none of it makes sense, but it's just like, it's like super artsy.
Yeah. I think my favorite stuff in it is just like anything like really with the witches. And I think her and Dakota had like really good chemistry. Cause like when they start like mind reading,
they're like eye fucking.
Yeah. It's so intense.
Yeah, it's like
the more times I see it, I like understand better that Tilda's like figuring her out, you know?
Yeah. So Tilda Swinton played 3 characters in this fucking movie. Not just the old man. She's also playing
Markos.
And I keep forgetting that she's in this. Mother Markos.
I know.
Character.
Well, because we like, you know.
I'm trying to think like
but that's where all the drama is.
It is. Do you want to explain like what's significant about her? Because
so they're trying to decide who to vote in for Sorceress Supreme. And she's like she's like Jessica Lange, and Susperia is like
Sarah Paulson.
Sarah Paulson, thank you.
And she's like, I'm the fucking supreme.
Yeah. That's the thing. There's like all this turmoil in the dance studio or like with the witches because they're not all wanting to vote together. And Tilda has like her character's like made such a bond, like an infatuation or like I don't just like this weird kind of relationship with Susie.
Yeah.
That she's not for Markos.
Mother Markos, like she's like the leader, right? She tells everyone to choose her, right?
She expects it for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's trying to be like re-alive. That's why she's like body parts put together. Yeah, she's like, I'm halfway here. I'm coming.
Yeah. She's like, please choose me. And she looks like fucking
a frog.
Yes.
Like an actual frog.
A frog with sunglasses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't she like hiss? And there part where she's like like something weird. I love it.
Oh, I think she's just making noises. Like that's like her frog sound. It's just hissing. Ew.
Sorry.
We got Mother Markos. God.
That is really funny. But she like attacks.
Oh yeah, and her neck is just hanging. Oh yeah, that was like really cool.
I know that. I was like, whoa.
I know, it's like fucking Matrix.
Yeah.
And she like slowly falls to her knees, and like the blood is just like raining.
Right. I was gonna say, so yeah, Tilda's like, because they've all been preparing and are having this ritual, and so all of the girls in the dance company are like, you know, I don't know if they're like in a trance or something, but they're all doing that dance.
Yeah.
Right. And then like Dakota or Susie's gonna be like sacrificed.
Yeah.
And Tilda's like, I don't really want her to. Like she says something to Susie where she's like, and Markos, like she basically says something doesn't feel right about this. And like she wants to stop it because she's like, you don't have to do this. Like maybe you should think about it more. And she's like, no. And at this point, Susie's like fully like witch. And she's like, no, I want to do this. Like, and then, yeah, Markos is like, all right. And then Tilda's character is like going to cast a spell to stop the girls from dancing or something.
yeah.
Or she's going to tell the girls to stop dancing and then that would break the spell. But then Markos is like, and I was like, wow.
Oh yeah.
Like, wouldn't she be like, I would look at Markos if I were the other witches and I'd be like, you just killed her.
Yeah.
Like, you need to leave. You need to leave. That's the part that's cool is when actual Susperia, a demon or whatever, comes out from the basement.
Well, actually, it comes from the curtains.
Oh, the girls like scream out of fear. Do you remember that? You can hear them because they're all like, ah! Like there's this like black, wet looking. It actually is very fucking scary. It's like the opposite
because
of Dakota.
Isn't it red, the lighting at this point? And just,
yeah, everything's red.
Well, it's the screaming of the witches for me.
Yeah,
because like that was like, what is going on? This like demon is coming out of nowhere. And then all of a sudden this room turns red. For what reason?
Right. I know. And who turned the lights?
Yeah. It does kind of remind me of like Carrie.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah,
I could see that. And I do remember now she does open her chest. And the black demon comes up like hella catwalk and is like, I'm jumping in there, bitch. You're my body now.
Yeah. But when she turns into Mother Suspiria, she goes to like Mia Goth and then like Chloe.
And she says, "What do you ask?"
To die. Is that what she says? Yeah. They both say it.
Yeah, she like goes up because she ends up being really nice.
Yeah.
Like, yo, Suspiria is super sweet. And she's like, yeah, goes up to everyone and says like, because all of there's so many different women that had been part of the sacrifice. So like they've lost limbs to like help put Markos back together and all this shit. And like Mia Goth, her character gets fucking just railed apart.
Oh, that's also one of my favorite scenes is when she goes down to the basement and she finds Chloe Grace Moritz like she's alive but she's just rotting.
Yeah, she's literally rotting.
It's crazy.
I just remember her leg gets like destroyed.
Yeah, that's when she like breaks her leg or whatever.
Yeah, it's like the bones sticking out and everything. And then they like patch it up and like, you know, put her in a trance or whatever, and she just like goes and performs
with a broken leg,
with a broken leg
but healed skin.
Yeah,
I thought that was cool when her eyes like turned and she's like possessed pretty much.
Yeah.
And then like they were the witches or the witches can still like make her perform like the dance. Like you could have did this to all the girls.
Right.
Have they been waiting for like Suspiria to like show up?
Well, I think they need a new Supreme. Yeah, I think it was just more about like getting like their leader set up because I think, you know, just like, and I think they'd been working on Markos because there's even like what to me looked like baby parts. It was like all different types of like bodies. So I think it's just like they've just been living there for like a long time. They're witches.
She's like a blob. A blob with wheels.
You know, Ditto the Pokemon. She's like that.
I just looked up a picture of Ditto. I didn't know who Ditto was. I'm obsessed though. Okay, the old man is Tilda Swinton. Anyways, she's playing 3 characters.
Yeah.
Which is like a lot of work.
I know.
You have to be in prosthetics like for 2 characters. You're the blob and then like this old man.
Yeah.
And then when they shot that scene, that ending scene, I'm like, how did you get there? How'd you get there? Wait.
You were just right there. It's so funny.
Huh?
I was going to say, okay, so the reason the old man is there and still alive and everything is because they have to have a witness at the ceremony.
But then they like return him.
Dude, and that's so, and when they lure him in, it's like, oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, because it's like his wife.
It's his, it's his whole like, it seems real to him, but it's like him finding his wife.
And she doesn't look that old.
No. And like that, and like them just like, oh my gosh, what happened? I was taken to this like, you know, Nazi camp thing.
But she actually died there.
More than likely, because he never found her, and she went to a fucking concentration camp. So like, so he's like lived with this crazy guilt, you know, and the witches know everything, so they like use that against him by like giving him this perfect scenario, like dream, And then when he comes out of it, he's like at the steps of the dance studio. It's like, whoa.
So the lady that plays the old man's wife, she's the original actress in Suspiria.
Jessica Harper.
Yes.
Oh, I also had a note I put down that was just like, Tilda was made for this film.
Yeah.
I feel like it is her movie.
Yeah, because of all the characters. She plays a lot of different characters.
She had the biggest paycheck.
Hell yeah. She was the big name in the movie that nobody watched. I liked Mia Goth in this. I think every scene that like Mia Goth's in is like really good. She looks really good in this, like that time period. Like it is like she has that look from X, but like in a different.
I think she is if Pearl got out.
Shit.
Right? She's like, I'm going to Germany and learn how to dance.
Could this be in the same universe, except it's like a multiverse version? Because she's Pearl, but pursuing dance.
Right. Not pursuing porn in Texas.
Yeah.
I was really sad when Tilda's character got killed, but then I watched the deleted scenes. So it shows like Susperia, like taking, she's like in charge now. And she basically wipes the old man's memories. She goes to his house and he's like in bed. Basically is like on bed rest, like he can't go anywhere. And then Tilda Swinton's character isn't dead. She's just injured, but like she's like injured, like still has like a hanging neck, and they have to put her together.
Oh,
which made me happy because I was like, good, I like her. I don't want her going anywhere.
Why did they delete that?
I mean, it's a long movie.
You could have cut that old man's story.
Yeah,
that was my dislike. Yeah, we were gonna talk about like Dario Argento.
Oh yeah,
and like why he didn't like this movie.
Yeah, do you know?
Well, he was just like, I mean, he gave permission to produce the remake, but like he was never involved. So he didn't really have an idea about like what the movie was going to be.
Sure. Yeah.
But like his quote in an interview with IndieWire, he said, either you do it exactly the same way, in which case it's not a remake, it's a copy, which is pointless. Or you change things and make another movie. Yeah, in that case, why call it Suspiria?
I mean, I can get that because like when I looked at those films, it is like this what? like yeah. Okay. They're not even in Italy. Yeah. And this one's like, oh, we're in Berlin.
Yeah. Anyways, so guess who was supposed to be in this movie?
Ooh, Stevie Nicks.
Sarah Paulson. Jessica Lange as Markos. That could be, oh my god, that's like the Ryan Murphy version.
Yeah. And they're like dance sequences.
No, it'd be a musical.
It would.
It would be a musical number.
But wait, okay. Who is supposed to be in this?
Natalie Portman.
You're fucking kidding.
Yeah, but here's the thing, like it also had a different director.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so she was supposed to be in the original or in the remake when David Gordon Green, who did the Halloween reboots.
Oh, interesting.
He was supposed to direct this one. I don't know if that's like a fact, but that's what I found on IMDb.
That's crazy. I mean, I believe it.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, I guess. Did you have any final thoughts?
No, I just think it's good and everyone should watch it. It's a, female empowerment.
Yeah, I really liked this movie too. And I think like fans should give it a chance and like kind of open your minds a little bit. Just thinking of it as a different movie with the same title. But, all the Argento stands don't come for me. Mm-hmm. Well, that's the end of this episode. Brittany, where can we find you?
You can find me at humble_book_review.
And you can find me on Instagram and TikTok at somecallme_Ricky. And if you liked this episode, you can find us on Instagram and YouTube at Paper Screen Podcast. So smash that like button, hit us up, let us know what you think. Until next time, bye.